All right, so imagine this for a second. You're out on the water, maybe, I don't know, on a boat, or you could even be swimming, and a wild orca swims up, one of the ocean's top predators.
Right.
But instead of, well, anything scary, it offers you something, like a gift.
A gift from an orca?
Yeah, like a freshly caught seabird, or even, get this, a whole seal pup.
Yeah.
Just sort of gently placed right there near you. It sounds totally made up, doesn't it?
It really does, like something from a story.
But it's not. It's actually happening. So today we're doing a deep dive into this pretty unique and honestly just fascinating phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission is to really unpack what's going on, looking at a recent study in the Journal of Comparative Psychology. We've also got insights from articles in CNN Brazil and Science Alert.
Okay.
And we're not just looking at what's happening, but more importantly, trying to understand why. What does this tell us about these incredible animals and maybe about us too?
And this deep dive, it's really a chance for you, listening, to get a quick but pretty thorough grasp of this. It's all about interspecies communication, really. Expect some, aha moments about intelligence that's not human.
Yeah, absolutely. So keeping that incredible image in mind, let's get into the specifics, these firsthand accounts.
Okay.
One of the researchers, Jared Towers from Bay Cetology, he actually saw this happen. He described a young female orca coming up to a camera he had underwater.
Underwater camera, right.
Yeah, and she opened her mouth, dropped a dead seabird,
Yeah.
and then just hung there, like she was waiting to see what he'd do.
Wow, just waited.
Yeah. And what's really wild is, after a few seconds, she apparently rolled towards the camera, swallowed the bird again, and then let it go again.
No way. Reoffered it.
Kind of seems like it, doesn't it? The intent there feels pretty clear. And then a few years later, he saw something similar, another young female dropping a dead seal pup right by his boat.
And it's important to stress, these aren't just like one-off stories. Towers and his team, they actually documented 34 different cases like this.
34. That's quite a few.
Yeah, between 2004 and 2024. So a good chunk of time. And they gathered the data carefully using those underwater cameras, but also doing a lot of interviews with other people who'd seen this happen.
And they had rules, right, for what counted as an offering.
Oh, absolutely. Very specific criteria. The main thing was the orcas had to initiate it. Like, totally their idea. No humans baiting them or anything.
No approaching them first.
Exactly. And the food, it had to be deliberately released within about one orca body length of the person.
Right.
Close enough to be obvious.
Okay. And sometimes they even played with the food first.
Yeah, that was noted too. Adds another layer, doesn't it? Sort of testing it out. Or maybe just normal orca behavior with prey before the offering part.
Interesting. And where did these happen? Mostly boats?
Mostly, yeah. 21 cases were with people on boats, but 11 times it was people actually in the water.
Whoa. That's intense.
Definitely. And 2 times, even people on the shore. So quite a range of situations. And the gifts, they vary too. Sometimes whole animals, like that seal pup you mentioned.
Okay, so what about the orcas themselves? Were they alone? Or
Mostly alone. About 2/3 of the time, it was a single orca approaching. But sometimes they came in pairs or even small groups.
And the waiting thing, that happened almost every time.
Almost every single time. In all but one of the 34 cases, the orcas waited after dropping the food for a median time of 5 seconds, just watching.
5 seconds. That doesn't sound long, but in an animal interaction, that's a deliberate pause, isn't it?
It really is. It suggests they're observing, looking for reaction, which leads to, well, our reaction.
Yeah. How did people react? I imagine mostly confusion.
Pretty much. Often awkwardness, it seems. In 30 out of the 34 interactions, the people just ignored the food, didn't touch it.
30 out of 34. Wow.
Yeah. Only 4 times did someone actually collect it. And in 3 of those cases, they just threw it back in the water.
Huh. So not exactly accepting the gift?
Not really. And despite that, some orcas apparently tried again, like made another attempt to offer the same item. Their persistence is, well, it's something.
It really makes you wonder, are they trying to figure us out just as much as we're trying to figure them out? So, okay, the big question, why? Why are they doing this?
Right. That's what the researchers are puzzling over.
They had some initial ideas, I read, like maybe just curiosity or seeing how we'd react to a present.
Exactly. Those were on the table. But the idea that it was just play behavior, that got sort of dismissed.
Oh, why is that?
Because it wasn't just the young ones doing it. They observed orcas of all ages engaging in this, from calves right up to mature adults. Play is often, more of a juvenile thing.
Okay, that makes sense. So if it's not just play, what else?
Well, you get into more interesting territory. Now, orcas do sometimes use prey to lure other animals. That's a known hunting tactic.
Right.
But, and this is crucial, there is absolutely zero record of wild orcas ever killing a human. Ever. So using food to lure us for attack. Highly, highly unlikely.
Okay, good to know. So that theory's out.
Pretty much. The leading idea now is that it's more about exploration, learning about humans, almost like they're running little social experiments on us.
That persistence, even when we ignore them, it does remind you a bit of pets, doesn't it? Like cats bringing you gifts.
It does have that surface similarity.
Mm-hmm.
But the key difference, and what makes this study so groundbreaking, is that these are wild animals.
Right, not domesticated.
Exactly. Accounts of wild animals trying to, like, provision humans intentionally give us food are incredibly rare. The sources mentioned maybe a couple of odd cases with false killer whales or leopard seals, but it's really, really unusual.
So this isn't just normal animal behavior we're seeing.
No, definitely not. And it connects directly to how smart orcas are.
Okay, tell us more about that connection.
Well, we know orcas have really advanced cognitive abilities. They're incredibly social. They cooperate. Food sharing is a big part of their own communities.
They share with each other.
All the time. It's what scientists call a pro-social activity. It strengthens social bonds, builds relationships within the pod. So one compelling thought is, could sharing with us be like an attempt to relate, to show some kind of social interest?
Wow. Extending their social behavior to another species, that's profound.
It is. And think about their brains. Orcas are right up there among the most intelligent animals.
Yeah.
Their brain-to-body size ratio, it's huge.
Second only to humans, I think I read.
That's right. It's that concept called encephalization. It signals a massive capacity for complex thought. Plus, think about their hunting prowess. They take down huge prey.
Yeah, much bigger than other dolphins or whales sometimes.
Exactly. Which might mean sometimes they just have extra food.
Hmm.
Surplus. And maybe that makes sharing, less costly, opening the door for these kinds of exploratory interactions.
And there was something about special brain cells, too. Fusiform neurons.
Yes, that's another fascinating piece. They found these specialized neurons, fusiform neurons, in orca brains.
And those are linked, too.
In humans and other apes, they're linked to social cognition, empathy, judgment, complex social stuff. Finding them in orcas strongly suggests they have a capacity for pretty deep social and perhaps emotional understanding.
So empathy, maybe?
It's possible. Of course, we can't know their motivation for sure. As one researcher said, we can't interview them.
Yeah.
Right.
No exit polls for orcas.
Exactly. But it could be something like altruism, or maybe even a kind of misdirected nurturing behavior, like how they'd care for a calf. It's hard to say definitively.
But what makes it feel less like random occurrences is the consistency you mentioned.
Yes, exactly. It's not tied to one specific ocean, or just males, or just females, or just young ones. You see it across the board, different locations, sexes, ages, from calves to adults.
That does suggest something more ingrained, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe even cultural.
That's a really strong possibility.
Yeah.
It fits into this broader picture we have of orcas. They often initiate interactions with humans, with boats. They have these incredibly complex social structures.
Right. Matrilineal societies, right? Led by older females.
Precisely. And these older females pass down knowledge, traditions, everything from hunting techniques and dialects to things that seem almost whimsical, like wearing kelp or salmon carcasses on their heads.
Wait, salmon hats? Seriously?
Seriously. Researchers have observed these fads, these traditions, spreading through pods. It shows just how rich and learned their cultures can be.
Okay, so this food offering could be another learned, maybe even cultural behavior they're exploring. So
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway for us then?
Well, the researchers suggest that things like generalized altruism and reciprocity, helping others, expecting help back, these might be natural byproducts in species that are highly social and intelligent.
Like orcas. And like us.
Exactly. These behaviors are social cornerstones tied to that high level of encephalization, that big brain-to-body ratio. What we're seeing here is potentially a really novel example of, well, convergence.
Convergence, mean
Like
weird.
two very different branches on the tree of life. Primates and cetaceans arriving at similar peaks of intelligence and complex social behavior independently.
Wow. That's a huge idea.
It really is.
Yeah.
And Jared Towers, the lead researcher, he really emphasized this point. This whole phenomenon should remind us that, yeah, we're technologically advanced, but we share this planet with other highly evolved, incredibly intelligent species. And their well-being, their complex lives, they really matter and need to be considered in everything we do.
That's a powerful message. And I suppose as our worlds overlap, more boats, more people near coasts, these kinds of interactions might happen more often.
It seems likely, yes,
Yeah.
which makes understanding them even more important.
Definitely gives you a lot to think about.
So as you mull this over, think about it. What does it really mean when a wild apex predator, so different from us, but also so intelligent, actively tries to share its food with you?
Yeah. Is it just curiosity? Or is it something more? A kind of communication, an attempt maybe to bridge that species gap. And if it is something that profound, how do we even begin to understand or respond? It certainly leaves you with something pretty remarkable to consider about the other minds in the deep blue.